Mind your business. Mind your business. Mind your business. Mind your business. For the people who are learning to mind their business.
This is Mind Your Business. It's a podcast about sports, about music, and about money, and how they all work together. My name is COwart, along with Phil Hudson, special guest Paul Millsap with us today. It is sponsored by SR Homes, a builder focused on you, and you can find them at srhomes.com.
Denver Nugget, Paul Millsap.
There you go.
Still weird for me to say.
I know, it doesn't feel right. It doesn't feel right. I know things are great in Denver, but man, we sure miss you in Atlanta.
Yeah, I miss Atlanta too, man. This is my home now, so definitely miss it down there.
Yeah, right. Well, maybe one day we can figure out a way to get you back home.
Right.
That's what matters, man, is getting you back here.
Right.
But such a pleasure to have you in on Mind Your Business today, because you guys, you have a business called Core for Atlanta, and it's all about strength and conditioning. It's all about being trained by the best when it comes to learning the game of basketball from young ages, AAU, senior leagues, all that. I was reading the whole website, man. You guys focus on a lot of different stuff, and I have a 14-year-old son, Jacob, man, and that's what he's into, right? Right now he's in summer football and some baseball, but as we head toward that fall, he's going to transition and be in basketball. And I know a lot of guys are going to be like, well, hold up. You mean my kid can go learn from NBA players, or players that know the game better than anybody else, and that's what you guys do.
Yeah, no question. And that's what we want to be known at, a world-class training facility, for basketball. The game of basketball was taught to me. And I just want to pay it forward and give it back to the youth of today.
Yeah, that's awesome. And by doing that and paying it forward, you guys are doing the inaugural basketball camp. Mm-hmm. So, and you have a bunch of buds coming out too. Kent Bazemore, former teammate, I'm sure still good bud though.
Yep, absolutely.
Coming out to be a part of that.
Yeah.
And we got, Brittany, help me out here, from the Atlanta Dream. Yep, there you go. And so it's male and female. Mm-hmm. So Tug and I actually have a rule. We don't let people on the show to talk about their nonprofits or stuff unless we believe they actually are genuine about it. So Chris Domino vouched for you today, which for sure. Yeah, for sure.
Well, it's just because so many people will use it for something that it's not meant to be, and which is still good. Don't get me wrong. Anytime somebody's doing good, it's better than not. But Phil and I just believe that, man, we want to make sure that the people really who genuinely care about what they're doing and care about their community are able to talk about it.
So talk about your foundation, a little bit about what it does. And
yeah, Paul Millsap Foundation, we do a little bit of everything, man. We help, pretty much whoever, but mainly, we do a lot of scholarships for high schoolers or anybody that's pursuing a degree. We want to help in that aspect. And we just do a lot for churches and
that's awesome.
Schools and people in need.
Man, it's funny because we had work done last week, and I'm sure you know the work that he's done. And we got on the topic of faith, and when you hit churches there, man, automatically, man, I because just being raised in church and knowing what churches mean to communities, right. It's great that's part of the outreach as well, because they got a pulse, man. Yeah. They know where the need is typically before anybody else.
Oh yeah, and that's that's big for myself and my family. My mother, she has a card ministry where she sends out cards to a lot of people, encouraging them and everything. I came up through the church, so it's really big for me to give that back to the churches and help them do what they need to do to get more people and encourage more people. So that's big for myself and the family.
Yeah, man, that's awesome, man. That's great news.
Are you still do you still live in Atlanta somewhat?
I do. I have home out here. Yeah.
So is this going to be? You think your forever home?
I think so.
What made you choose Atlanta? For that anchor.
I was looking at some places in the South, and before I moved out here, I was in Utah. So when I signed with Atlanta, and being out here for those 4 years, man, it's been an amazing journey, and the people have supported me, and the diversity of Atlanta and everything that Atlanta's about, and what they're going to be in the future. You want to be a part of that, and I want to raise my kids and sit down and retire.
Absolutely, and find a front porch and just hang out, man. That's what my wife and I do. It's funny, there's all this stuff to do in Atlanta, and I love it. Don't get me wrong, I love all the things there is to do for families and just even not families, just young guys, young gals, whatever.
Definitely plenty to do for not families.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, it's got plenty going on for that too. But there's nothing better than me, than I don't know, grabbing a cold one or a glass of wine or a glass of sweet tea. It doesn't matter. And just sitting on the front porch, we'll flip on the Braves game or flip on some music or whatever and just hang out, man. We don't have to do anything. But that's what I think I enjoy more than anything, just wasting time sitting on the front porch.
Boys from Louisiana.
Yeah, exactly.
Absolutely.
That's what I'm saying, yeah.
I'm in the process of redoing my deck now so I can do that.
For sure. Get some green egg out there, start cooking on that thing. Goodness gracious.
So I get it.
One thing I thought was interesting, we did a story, so Atlanta has more retired NFL players per capita than any other city.
Oh, really?
And so we were looking into why, and obviously SEC football is a big one. They get exposed to the South early on. But what I thought was interesting is, so, NFL player, probably the NBA too, back in the day, like, our parents' age and older, they didn't make a lot of money compared to pro athletes today. So they all, they didn't walk into these retirements that athletes are today. And so there's a ton of charity golf tournaments that the athletes get to do. And so I always thought that was pretty interesting. There's a career after sports in Atlanta. You can just walk in and go play golf.
Well, like Vince Carter. I mean, he said that's the reason he wanted to come and finish. I know he's decided to play another year now, but that's the reason he wanted to come to Atlanta, was because of the broadcast and TNT being here and those opportunities past his playing days, because that's what he's interested in. What about you, man? What are you interested in? I mean, you got a long way to go, I know, but when you get there.
I got a long ways to go. I'm trying to establish myself now, in the business world, and, try to broaden my horizons, my intellect in that field, and, golf and spend time with family, man. That's pretty much my life.
What's your handicap?
About a 13 right now. I'm in between swings, so
I can't do
it's
that
probably
on a
worse.
putt-putt course.
Seriously, man, I usually lose 40 balls by the second hole. Like, I get invited to go play golf. Seriously, I get invited to go, and I'll say no because I don't want to ruin anybody's experience.
It's a tough sport, man.
It is.
Yeah. It's tough.
It's like baseball. It's a game of failure.
Yeah.
It really is. And it's the truth, man. You get out there, and you'll just be hacking away, and you're ready to break your clubs and throw the bag into the nearest water trap, and then you get that one that reels you back in. That one putt or that one.
This is the weirdest tie-in in the world, but I have to do it because you brought up golf. So name a basketball movie that has a golf scene in it from our childhood.
Basketball movie. Like
Space Jam.
That's the only thing I was going to say.
Space Jam.
I remember that.
Speaking of Space Jam, you got, what is it, yesterday? They announced that you were going to be on Team USA.
I just saw that too.
Super, super cool.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
So, one, are the aliens any risk this year with Space Jam coming back?
Yeah, right.
Because I think LeBron's taking that on, right?
He is, yes, that's right.
I don't know how to deal with that, so yeah.
No aliens, they're out this time?
Yeah, no, good news.
So how did that phone call go down? When did you get tipped off about it? How does that all work?
Yeah, well, they reached out to my agent and let me know that they had interest. I didn't know to what magnitude or what degree, but one morning I was sitting down and Coach Popovich called me.
Oh, wow. That's legit right there.
I was like, whoa, wow. So that changed my whole perspective, when a coach like that wants you on his team.
Sure.
It meant a lot, just from that aspect. But, to go out there and represent our country and, play basketball for this country, I mean, that also means a lot, too.
Yeah. No, it's
I'm a bad American. Where's this Olympics coming up?
So it's going to the national, or is it the international basketball, the FIBA? Is that what it is?
Yep. So this year we'll go to, we'll do LA, Australia, and China.
Got it.
Yeah.
You ever been to China?
No.
Dude, it's nuts. And what's nuts is how much they love basketball.
I know.
It's insane. So when I was over there, so I'll actually pick at you a little bit. I was on your Instagram or your Twitter, and I saw you posted a photo of a Michael Jackson collage, I guess, out in Vegas. So over in China, a lot of them, they take American names because the Chinese names are different, or English names, I should say. And so many of them were named Michael after Michael Jackson and Michael Jordan.
Yeah.
My favorite was Thug.
Probably more Michael Jordan, for sure.
Yeah, but yeah, for sure, because they're nuts. But you met a few Kobe's. But yeah, so you'll get a Chinese name when you go over there. You'll have to.
That'll be cool.
Make sure you get one before so you know what they're saying.
Okay, yeah.
Paul Millsap joining us here on Mind Your Business. It's sponsored by SR Homes, a builder focused on you, rather. srhomes.com. Let's go back a little bit to Core 4 and Core 4 Atlanta, and you can find those guys on Instagram at Core 4 Atlanta or Core 4, the number 4, Atlanta.com, the website. But doing the inaugural camp for kids, the inaugural youth basketball camp, what is it you guys will focus on there? Fundamentals. What's the age range? What can people expect, and how can they get signed up?
Yeah, first you get signed up at Core for Atlanta on IG or the website. But I think mostly we want to just teach the basic fundamentals. Basketball has gotten more. I want to use the fancy. And,
certainly have. Like when they changed the what was it? The NCAA came out with they're going to change the 3-point line to the international rules, for next year, and I was like, who cares, man? I watched Steph Curry hitting from nearly half court last night in warm-ups. He had like 6 or 7 in a row. I was like, I don't care where the 3-point line is. That's the new thing, man. That's what makes basketball sexy and fancy.
Yeah, it does. But within that, those guys, are the best at the fundamentals of basketball. If you break down Steph Curry or even Kevin Durant or Kawhi Leonard, you'll see that, the fundamentals are actually
Paul Millsap.
The fundamentals actually, take over, and that's what it's about. So that's what we want to teach, and where you go from there and how you evolve your basketball game, is up to you, and whatever creativity you want to put in your own game, it's up to you. But we want to teach the basic fundamentals so you can have that stability and that foundation.
Yeah, and last night, those fundamentals come into play really with about 8 seconds left in the game. I don't know if you're watching it. They locked Kawhi Leonard down, man. The defense was solid, and they weren't able to get off a clear shot. Kyle Lowry over in the corner just wasn't able to get off a shot because of solid defense, which is all fundamental, and that's what you guys will be focused on.
That's what it's about. For me, it's playing both sides of the court. It's always been about defense and offense. Not just having, being offense heavy or defense heavy, but having a good balance to where you're multidimensional on the court. And, you see that nowadays, especially with the Golden States and the Toronto Raptors, they're multidimensional teams that can switch out on pick and rolls, but, double team and actually get out to the, the 3-point shot and contest and block it, like Draymond did.
Yeah.
It's unbelievable to see that.
Yeah. So, speaking of multidimensional, I want to know if you play NBA 2K and if you play as yourself and if you're happy with your rating.
All right, so not happy with my rating. Okay. I don't think any.
I've never heard.
We're gonna get that repaired then. We're gonna get that fixed.
Yeah. Do I play? I'm almost forced to play. My son, he's big into basketball. He's 4.
Oh, that's awesome.
And he plays it all day long.
Did he already school you?
He has. He shocked me. I came down there one day expecting, just for him to, come out and, dribble around and whatever. But he's got it down packed, man. He's competing with
awesome.
A lot of 4-year-olds out there in 2K right now. So.
That's awesome.
Does he watch the, how like the NBA teams have their 2K teams now? Does he watch any of that?
He watches my team, our team, and he watches Steph Curry. He's a big Steph Curry fan.
Hard not to.
James Harden fan.
Yeah, hard not to.
He can list off, at least 200 players in the NBA right now.
Wow. That's awesome, man.
He's that big into it, so he forces me to play it all the time.
That's cool. Super cool, man.
I plays Fortnite with this kid.
Yeah, well, no, okay. Well, the problem is that I'm horrible. Like, I remember video games having 2 buttons.
Yeah.
And I could master that. I was okay with 2 buttons, right?
Yeah.
When they started adding 4 and 6 and then 2 joysticks, dude, I was out at that point. I'm horrible. I couldn't quit looking up. Yeah. That's all I did was run around and look up. And then when I would shoot the gun, it would just shoot straight up. I never did anything.
Duck hunt gun?
No, not Duck Hunt. No, on Fortnite. That's what are you talking about?
I haven't even played Fortnite.
All right. Yeah, you got to catch up, man. But it's funny, though, being a dad. Let's talk about that a little bit because my son it will be 15 at the end of the month. And there's nothing more in the entire world that I love than being a dad. Man, spending that time because it evaporates. It goes by so quickly, and I can vouch for that happening for sure. My parents told me it would, and I never believed them, but, he'll be 15, like, able to drive an automobile at the end of this month. I got to be in the car, thank heavens. But there's just nothing better, man. I love that quality time. I love to pick his brain about things, see what he's thinking. I love to talk to him about whatever we learned in church that day. I love to see what his favorite food is.
Introduce you to Old Town Road.
That's right, he totally did. Yes, absolutely. Like 9 months ago. Yeah. Now it's been remixed and everybody likes it. So I think he's off the Old Town Road kick. But the point being is there's nothing better in my view than being a dad.
Yeah, same here, man. Just to watch your kids grow. and being that voice, you know, the good voice that they hear, and you know, when they need a question answered, or you know, they need some advice, you being there and giving them, you know, you know, it's going to be biased a little bit, you know, but you try to unbias it as much as possible, just to give them the best routes and the best advice possible. And to see that go into fruition when they go out and they have situations and things happen, and they lean back on that, it's unbelievable, man. So, you know, my kids has always been the joy of my life. I have 4, so. And my oldest is 15.
Are you serious? So we can relate, man.
She's trying to drive as much as possible now, and I'm trying to slow it down.
That's right. Just ease off, ease off. So you got that. Now, so is she going to be a high schooler next year?
She'll be 10th grade next year.
She'll be 10th grade next year. Okay, so my son will be going into 9th grade next year.
Okay.
So have you got to the boyfriend-girlfriend thing yet? Have you been through that yet? Because we're starting that now.
And he's already batting.
Let me tell you.
Batting pretty well.
Let me tell you. He did all right. He did okay. But the first 2 little girlfriends, it's like, you know, the new one I kind of like a little bit, you know, but it's just, dude, that's a maze in and of itself.
Yeah. They're at a point where they're I don't even like to honestly talk about it.
Yeah, right? No, I get it. Dude, I get it. I totally get it. Dude, it makes you so uncomfortable. Yeah. I'm with you, man.
You know, but it's what's had to happen. You have to be there and talk to them about it.
You do.
Yeah, because if you don't, someone else will.
Somebody else will, or they'll go on the internet and try to figure it out that way.
Yeah.
You know how that turns out. But.
Totally. It's bad news. There's bad news because everything on the internet is wrong.
Right, exactly.
For the most part.
Man, if I had the internet when I was 13, I'd still be in my room.
Yeah, well, that's a different story altogether. But I know you're so right, man. It is uncomfortable, but you said something that is so spot on, and if you don't tell them, somebody else will. And that's the tact I take with my son. I'm like, man, if you hear something and you don't know what it is, don't repeat it. Come ask me. Right. Yeah. And there's been those moments where he'll be like, hey, I heard this. What does it mean? Right. And I'll be like, well, what is it? And he'll be like, I don't say it. I was like, dude, you got to tell me, or I don't know what it is. Yeah. And I make him say whatever it is, whatever the 4-letter word that he's heard, because I want to take that mystery out of it, right? Yeah. Take that impact that it has, or that some people think that it has. And I'm like, tell me what you heard, and then I will tell you. And man, I've been 100% just straight up honest. This is going to sound terrible. So we had the talk when he was like 8 years old. I was reading this book about Christian fatherhood, right, and guiding your kid. And it said between 7 and 9, he was 8, on the way home from ball practice. One day I was laid it on the line, man. His hair was blown back like a cartoon, you know. But now, you know, he comes to me because he'll be like, you know, I heard this, or somebody told me this, or, you know, what is this that I keep hearing about? And now it has opened up a whole avenue of dialogue that I don't know would have been there if I hadn't had that conversation.
Yeah, you got
which was a little uncomfortable, but it really helps so much.
It's more, you know, just about trust.
It is. You're exactly right.
Them trusting you to be able to tell you, you know, what's going on in their minds and what's going on in their lives, and you not being judgmental.
The truth. That's exactly right.
I think that's really what it comes down to, and that's how you have dialect and have a good relationship and be able to impact your kid's life, you know, as much as possible.
Yeah. So you said, I guess the boy was the Steph Curry fan. Yeah. Is it weird for you to see them kind of like look up to these guys that are your peers?
No, actually, it's not. You know, I actually love it. You know, he comes and shoot like Steph Curry. He does the.
Yeah, right. He's got it down pat.
He got it down pat, and I'm like, dude, shoot like he'll miss a shot. I'm like, dude, shoot like Steph Curry.
Yeah, right. That's right. Go
he'll do it, and he'll make it. And it's like, if you want to see somebody do something really well at shooting, Steph Curry's a good guy to look at. So I have no ego when it comes to that. You know, I want you to see the best and mimic the best. You know, so
do they get it? Do they think they're just your coworkers, or are they like, no, they're the best at what they do?
They know they're the best.
Okay.
You know, my son came to me yesterday while I was watching the game and said, you know, Steph Curry's the famous one. Him and Klay Thomas are the famous ones, and you know, DeMarcus Cousins is the biggest on the team. And I'm like, wow, okay.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. So I mean, you're my age. So the first time I got to meet Grant Hill, I was like, oh my goodness, it's Grant Hill. Mm-hmm. So I know you grew up watching him play, and then when you were with the Hawks, you know, he came into the new ownership role. Mm-hmm. Was that weird, being like, okay, now we're colleagues, even though I totally grew up watching you play, or did you immediately step into the professional role, or was there a little bit of fanboying out that had to?
There's definitely some fan, you know. I may not show it outwardly, you know, but it's definitely appreciation and a fan, you know, that comes through me, you know, when I see, you know, the greats like Grant Hill or, you know, Michael Jordans and guys like that. I mean, but, you know, I'm definitely a fan. I grew up watching these guys and watching what they accomplish, so, you know, can't help but be a...
Who is it that that you've looked up to that has lived up to everything that you expected them to when you watched them growing up?
You know, Michael Jordan definitely was one. You know, I had
sure.
all the Michael Jordan tape.
All we did, all of us did, right?
Oh, okay, yeah, for sure. You know, and wanting to be like Mike and.
Oh my gosh.
Shaq, man. Little Penny and Shaq.
It was for Shaq for you.
Yeah, really.
Little Penny was the coolest thing in sports marketing history.
Yeah, no, it was good for sure. But I remember seeing Michael play, and in Chattanooga, Tennessee. But I never got to see him play basketball. Saw him play baseball.
Oh, you saw him baseball?
Yeah, saw him in Chattanooga play.
Were they playing the Lookouts?
They were playing. So yeah, they were playing against the Lookouts. The Birmingham
cool.
Barons playing the Lookouts, and so that was my, you know, from obviously way back seats, seeing Michael Jordan at the plate. He only got one at bat that game, but I remember thinking how awesome it was, and just there were so many people there at this little bitty minor league stadium. You know, probably more people that's ever been in the stadium before, and probably will ever be again. And so that was just super cool for me to see that, you know, and to know that guys, even though they're the top of their game here, they can still have other interests, and you can, and kids that go to Core 4 or go to the camp, they can all have different interests too. They can love basketball but still love baseball and football, and be successful in all of those things. Just working with you guys.
Absolutely, and you know, same thing with me. You know, watching Michael Jordan, you know, play basketball, baseball, golf.
Yeah.
You know, and play those multi-sports. I mean, it's, you know, that's why I play golf now, because watching him and watching how he did it, you know, and that being a gateway or an outlet, you know, to get away from the world and the stresses of basketball and all that stuff. So that's why I use it for. It's really therapy for me. Yeah. You know, just get out there with nature and enjoy a good time.
No, I love it.
So I know we'd stay away from the basketball questions, but I got to get one in there. It's not really a basketball question. When you moved to Denver, how long did it take to settle in? And what has been your favorite part about the city?
It didn't take long to settle in. You know, the staff, you know, over there helped out a lot. Tremendous. They were really
they want you focused on basketball, not the other stuff, I guess.
Absolutely. So, you know, it was pretty much, it was seamless. In the city, I mean, the city's definitely growing, and, you know, the fans are amazing. And they welcomed me with open arms.
Does Carmelo Anthony still live out there?
No.
Oh, man. Because his house on Cribs that he bought when he first went out there, man. I was like,
it's crazy.
This dude he's got it, man. Yeah, that's when I became the biggest Carmelo Anthony fan.
No, that's awesome.
Balling, yeah. And Tug and I ask this all the time. What's the last concert you went to, and what are you listening to now?
The last concert I went to, wow.
It may be tough, man, because with work-life balance, man.
Yeah, it's tough because when we're actually during the
halftime shows.
Yeah, right.
During the seasons, we're gone when they're doing concerts, so it's not like out here. Out here is, you know, there's concerts going on all the time. Yeah. You know, in Denver, you know, is, you know, when we leave out of town, that's when they have like one of the concerts that I may want to go to or something like that. So it's kind of tough to get to one. I actually need to look into some stuff out here.
There you go, man.
I'm hearing.
Absolutely.
So when you were in the locker room with the Hawks and they would have the Migos out on the court, did any of y'all ever sneak out to go check a couple of minutes of it?
Actually, yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, we have. You know, we go out and watch and support those guys as much as possible.
Yeah. I mean, they've been great supporters of the teams too. It's cool to see it.
Mind Your Business, Sports, Music, and Money, presented by SR Homes, a builder focused on you. Stumbled over that 3 times today. All right, so what's something that you listen to that people wouldn't expect you to listen to? Is there any music that people are like, man, I don't expect Paul Millsap to like this?
I don't think so. You know, I'm a big J. Cole fan.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, rap and hip hop and R&B. You know, it's always on my playlist.
Yeah, for sure.
Listen to it. You know, I'm a '90s. You know, I like the '90s.
Yeah, man.
Hip hop, R&B. You know, mostly that when I'm at home, playing, chilling, or cleaning up or something. That's what I'm listening to. But you know, I'm a fan of all genres, man. Anything that's good to listen to, you know, I'll listen to them.
Yeah, man. It's funny, we talk about this all the time because Phil's background is hip hop and mine is country. I've been born and raised on country my whole life, and then I sold him on this idea, and now Dallas Austin has agreed, and did we bring it up with Work Done last week? I can't remember.
Yeah, we did.
And I think he agreed too. Dude, that country music and hip hop music are so close as genres. Like if you just said country hip hop, people are like, oh, that's not even similar. But I disagree. It is so similar in the fact that they're both genres that tell stories. And usually it's just about, hey, this is how I was raised. This is what I've been. Very reflective, absolutely.
But that's why you see a lot of hip hop and country coming together now.
For sure.
You know, that's why it kind of, it goes together pretty much.
Yeah, right. It's the same kind, man. Just very reflective and very storytelling. But is there anything we've left out from Core 4? Because I know your brother's involved, and there's just a lot. The whole staff is incredibly qualified to teach.
Yeah, absolutely. A lot of my brothers went overseas and played professionally overseas. I had a brother who played for the Utah Jazz, for a little bit, G League, college basketball, prep school, junior colleges. So, we come from all walks of life, and we learn all different types of basketball, all different types of styles, and that's the beauty of Core 4 is we bring all that together to make a curriculum that fits for anybody or everybody. So it's the beauty of what we're doing.
All right, so I know it's focused on basketball. Can you be an athlete in a different sport and still get something good out of going there?
Absolutely. I think those core values that we teach, from basketball, from basketball, I've learned a lot through basketball about life. I think being in a team-oriented concept, the team concept, being around guys, my peers, and learning from them, and how basketball brings you together as a team, a collective team to fight for something.
Healthy competition.
Those are core values of life. Anything you want to do in life, you have to have a team who's unselfish and come together for a common goal. And I think that's the beauty of sports now.
Yeah.
So I do have 2 more questions, and then we'll let you. So this is my fanboy question. When you're in Utah, do they let you ski? Are you allowed to ski, or are they like, dude, you're a major investment. You are not getting hurt.
I think it's in our contracts that we can't ski.
Oh wow.
If we get hurt or something,
Yeah, I get it. And then the second thing, so we've had a conversation of Atlanta rappers who are good ballers. So we've been told, 2 Chainz, Scales from Nappy Roots. We were told R. Kelly's really good.
Yep.
Who else were the other 2?
Oh my gosh.
Quavo, obviously, super athletic. Who is the most athletic rapper that you've met?
That can play ball. If we were going to put together a
super hip-hop team.
A hip-hop team that could take the court and compete.
Watching Quavo in the celebrity games, I think he's,
yeah.
He takes home I think,
he's like,
do we consider Chris Brown a rapper?
He didn't have to be a rapper.
I don't, but Tug probably does.
Yeah, probably. You know what?
I think he has some rap
How about
songs.
an artist? How about an artist? We'll go with artist versus just rappers.
I think Chris Brown is up there and Quavo's up there.
There we go, man. There we go. Two more additions, to the.
We got some backups now.
That's right, man. That's exactly right. Coming off the bench, man. We're gonna be strong.
Chris Brown coming off the bench.
That's exactly right. Dude, we're gonna go in and just dominate. It's awesome. Thank you so much for your time, man.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
God bless you. God bless your family and
Paul Millsap Foundation.
Yeah, the Paul Millsap Foundation. Make sure you keep up with that. Find out more about Core 4 Atlanta. Core, the number 4 Atlanta.com. You can find them on Instagram at Core, the number 4 Atlanta as well. And go out, get after it, man. Strength and conditioning, and learn basketball from some of the best basketball minds in the entire city of Atlanta with Paul and his team at Core 4. So thank you again. We appreciate it.
If you ever need a home, let me recommend srhomes.com.
There you go. Absolutely. That's exactly right. SR Homes, a builder focused on you, offering new home communities throughout Metro Atlanta, and you can visit them on the web at srhomes.com.
At SR Homes, our end goal is to create a home that's unique to you, one that you and your family will enjoy for years to come. With over 4 decades of home building experience, SR Homes has become a top home builder in Atlanta, offering a variety of communities in the most sought-after locations. Locally owned and operated, SR Homes is a builder focused on you. For more information, visit us at srhomes.com.